Alright, so we have a 2013 Kia Soul 2.0 liter engine. It's a pretty common engine on these Kia Soul. I believe this is the hyphen Kia Soul. Now, what we got here is a condition where this vehicle randomly wants to stall while driving, shutting off. So, getting one code for P0335. Really, the only code I'm saying, I have a feeling it could be the engine about to go here, but we'll see. It's worth a shot to toss this in there. It's not too much. Pretty easy to do, pretty easy to access. If you check out this video, I assure you I'm going to get right to the point here and make this really easy for you. It goes right underneath the engine. I would highly recommend driving it up onto some ramps, and you can get access real easy right by the engine oil filter. Literally right up in there. It's one 10mm bolt. Maybe torque it down, double check this, but no more than, I'd say, 6 foot-pounds. That doesn't take a lot of torque to hold down this guy. The trickiest part is wiggling it out of there. What I like to do when I get it out, I'll kind of take it and move it up and down after I remove the 10mm bolt, and you can kind of start to break the seal around the O-ring. And once you got that seal broke, you can get access and get in there, no problems at all. So I'm just letting you have a moment here to look over the actual paperwork. Actually shows you exactly what you need to do to get this job done. Take a look at this is the sensor that goes onto the bracket, and if you watch my video, I actually show you the easiest way to slide that on and off the bracket, because it can be really difficult to get it on and off of there. But if you listen and watch what I do, I promise you to make this the easiest sensor change ever. So basically, I'm going to get underneath here first, and I'm going to go ahead and find our engine oil filter, which is right there. Now I'm underneath the vehicle. And if you look upward towards the right, your sensor is going to be up there. I'm actually going to first, though. There's 2 or 3 push tabs you're going to have to remove. So you need to pinch the back where they're on the bracket. As you can see here, you should kind of give it a pinch. You should be able to push that wire forward. Then I just take my Milwaukee pliers or needle nose, and I'll push the harness out my way so I can have more access. That way, you can see in a second how I reach up and I bend that metal bracket downward. If you bend it all the way downward, you can actually slide it off the sensor. So much easier. So I just take it and unplug it from the top. Then I take the metal bracket and bend that downward. And I'm about to show you here in one moment why that makes sense to do and why life gets easier. I've got up top. I just wanted to get a better view of my sensor. Make sure I got the right tabs, because they're all separate down here. You don't want to get them mixed up. Make sure you're getting that right tab, of course, and then once you get the right tab, you go ahead and just, usually they're pretty easy. This one I think fought me a little bit to get off, but regardless, you can break it off of there. It doesn't matter. Not the metal bracket, but the tab, because you're going to be replacing that. It comes on the new sensor, and right here you can see I actually got I think that's the old one. I've got it hanging down where I bent that metal. Can you see where I bent that metal? Where it slides on, it's hanging down. And in a second, I believe I'm going to reach up there and pull it off. So what I did was, when I bent that metal down, I had to slide that other piece forward. So once you slide it forward, like I'm doing here, undo this tab as well, you can actually give yourself room. And I've actually have everything bent down and slid off at this point. Sorry, very hard to get that on video, but you can still see, I believe it's still bent downward. Maybe when I put the new one on, if I haven't done it yet, I can't tell. I don't think I have, but no, I have not. I'm about to. So you can see the tab, see where it's bent downward. And that's the top plug right there. It's the metal tab I bent down, and I'm just going to bend it right back. You see how it slides right on and off of there, just like that. Makes it really easy to put back on that way, I promise you. So all I'm going to do is slide that back onto that tab and then bend everything back up and then plug it in from the upward position. Makes life much easier, I assure you. That's one of the biggest tips about this think it'll really make life easier instead of trying to cut up your arms by forcing them up in that hole and trying to unplug and force it upward. Just bend it down, undo it, done. Right here I use my 10mm ratchet. I do not recommend using a power tool on this unless you know what you're doing and you do it all the time. You can over torque it. I was pretty gentle with it, so I'm just snugging back up the 10mm bolt. I may not be lined up yet. I think I'm lining up. So what you have to do is you have to rotate this back and forth. Make sure it's snug, and then get the 10. Yeah, I'm lining it up. You get the 10mm bolt in. Once it's lined up, you can actually get a good view. I think. Do I get it on camera? I'm not sure if you get a good enough view to where if you line it up, you can see. You got to line up that little bolt hole, or it won't quite go in. Once it's lined up, you know, you can actually peek your head up in there and get a pretty good view. Let's see about. Oh yeah, right there. So I'm still inspecting the old sensor at this point. Okay. Sorry, I want to get ahead of myself. I'm actually looking in there at the rings. I just like to look in there and see what everything looks like, how everything's doing. Make sure I don't have a gasket on there. But yeah, it's kind of neat. So the way a crankshaft position sensor works is it actually it has a ring in there, and that'll spin around. And what it does is it tells the engine when to inject fuel. So you know the timing, etc. So essentially, very key component when it comes to starting the car, proper combustion, etc. So I will say this: this car had 171,000 miles. I still think there's something going on with the engine. These Kias, I've seen them go at 90,000 miles. So if you have 171,000, then hey, you're not doing too bad. They're not bad cars and not great cars. Well, that's all I'm gonna leave that alone. Anyway, right here we're looking at the sensor here. Now you can't get a lot of miles out of anything if you take care of it, but I found these difficult to take care of just because of the engine oil problem. I'm just examining the old sensor. I don't really see any major issues with it. Sometimes I can see heat warping or some type of damage. This actually looks pretty good. Just further confirming he more than likely is going to have an engine problem. And I did recommend not to do this, but you know, some people want to do what they want to do, and I'm here to oblige. So it's worth a shot, honestly, for the price. And I believe it did seem to help a little bit. So it's very hard to tell. I will tell you at the end of the video what actually I believe the issue is, and I'll really check back in with the customer, and I'll update you then. So right here, I'm getting everything back together. Get back to 10mm, I believe now, and the sensor is just lubricated with some motor oil. What I do is I just take the engine old dipstick out 3 or 4 or 5 times, get it nice and lubricated with the engine oil as long as it's fairly clean. You know, of course, after spraying everything down and cleaning it off, like I did earlier, then you could slip the sensor back in and line up this hole up here, of course, and also adjust the tab on there. That tab is very important. I think I'll show you right here. Yeah, you see how I slid the tab back on the holder while it's bent downward, and I would have bent it back upward. And it's just enough room so you can pull that other harness out the way and push everything back up with the tab already installed. And then you just snip it in from the top. This doesn't hurt anything at all. It simply cuts the job time down by about 45 minutes instead of having to struggle with it from the top and plug it and unplug it and all that. Just bend it down, make your life easy. Don't stretch the other side of the pig though. Whatever you do, you shouldn't have to. Once you get it back in, you know, everything's lined back up. It should be all set. I should have everything back on here. I've got the other tabs plugged back in, the correct holders, and the 10mm snug down right there. I got it lined up. I'm about to snug it down, one of the two, but regardless, yeah, we're looking good. I just need to go ahead and finish torquing that down. Snug it up with my fingers mostly. Now I'm going to take my tool right here, my air ratchet, Milwaukee, and we're going to snug it back up. Very, very light handed here. Pretty much using it as a regular ratchet just because it is a long neck, and I love this tool. So you can see I'm kind of just using it as a ratchet at this point. And snug it. You can see I've got my hand way up on that to prevent cracking the plastic around the etc. And just getting it a good little snug. But my hand is way up on it. If it was down, dangerous, but it's up to prevent me from over-torquing. Now that it's snug, I can confirm, good to go. Make sure everything's secure. You didn't miss any plugs. Make sure you got the bracket, especially if you bent it out your way, and then tip the fans, and we'll give the final spray down on the work area. And around the engine will filter. Voila. And put the whole sensor back in the box for the customer. And right here's the part number, I believe, is coming up next. Actually went too advanced to other parts this time. Just goes to show I'm not biased. There we go. And we got a part number CSC. Got out with a 1790. It was so quick I couldn't see it, but you have to go back and check that out. Yep. Now I'm just going to go over all my work, make sure we didn't miss anything. Check all the hoses, make sure everything's back snug, nothing got knocked loose. Right here's your PCV valve if you've ever been looking for it on your Kia. If you want to replace that as well, can't hurt. If you're burning tons of oil and having smoking problems like the exhaust, it's always a good idea to change those PCV valves. Probably has never been done, and that could very well be a major issue also. But hey, that's all we had time for today, and one thing at a time, right? So, fire it up. I believe we're running perfect. Yep, we're running good. So everything looks nice. I am going to check the codes here in a moment. This is the P0335, I believe, was the code for the Crankshaft Position Sensor. I have to double check that here in a moment, but I believe that's right. And it's in the circuit pads, which is what I usually use. If you're not working properly, it's grounding from the sun. It's having an issue on multiple circuits. So usually a bad part of this. And it was a history code, so part's going bad. Okay, so it's not bad all the time. Possibly could just be going bad here or there, shutting off the engine while driving. It makes sense to me. Right now, I'm just put back on that little piece, fits right back on top, and we'll take it for a test drive. We'll do our thing coming up. So right here, code's gone, looking good, and I didn't even clear the codes; they just went away. Pretty cool, huh? Yep. Usually when that happens, that means you definitely got the fix. So now with Kia, you've lost some permanent codes, but they will go away pretty quickly on these vehicles not the driving so far. So I did give it one more final clear, because I did do, if you want to check out my other video on these Kia and Hondas, I did do the Brazilian turbo GDI cleaning. Oh man, it works great. You do it all the time with these vehicles. Where I attach the brake booster towards one of the vacuum lines to the brake booster in the rear of the vehicle, and I idle it up, and I spray every so often a good stream of turbo GDI cleaner in. Check that video out. It's an awesome way to clean these Kia and Hyundai motors. It really helps to get those valves cleaned up. It helps that motor run a lot better. The idle improves tremendously. Yeah, running good. Take it for a test drive, and there we go, off to the races. So anyway, hope you liked the video. Try to make it as simple, as easy as possible. As you know, I'm gonna have to change my channel. It looks like to 90% live stream auto repair content. This I was gonna do live. Just I want to try to. I figured I'd go in and edit one for you guys, but why not? Let me know what you think. Leave in the comments if this helps, and what you like better, the live stream, or you like some more edited work. I do a lot of edited shorts, by the way. But anyway, we're driving the vehicle here. It's driving just fine. Got a nice view of the steering wheel, but yeah, I'd take her for a good drive. She rode perfect. This was actually after I did the cleaning, by the way, too. So I said no, I went back and did the cleaning. She even did more amazing. I didn't get the cleaning on video. I wasn't in there. There's just no time for some stuff, and I'm too busy. So I'll try to do one of these here or there. But hope you like it, and make sure, like I said, if you want to learn more about Kia and Hyundai, I should have a lot of videos on this. And you got to check out that Kia cleaning, engine cleaning video. It's really a great thing. I learned that from someone I know who actually was a mechanic in Brazil, believe it or not. He said that's mostly what they drive down there. Is Kias and Hyundais. So he knows his stuff, I'll tell you that. And I've tried it now probably 8 times in the past year. Every customer has been very happy with the results. And I will have a follow-up on this in the description section. I'll leave every day. They don't like those speeders in the neighborhoods. I'll tell you that. So they don't realize I'm testing a car. They are not gonna like me speeding. That's for sure. I think this lady got down pretty hard, and this guy didn't like it. Here's what I think's going on over here for real. Get up here and I'll shut her off at the light, I guess. See what happens. May not be the best idea, but I'm gonna do it anyway. See how she does. Needs a couple key cycles on these Kias. They really do to be able to act properly. I will say that for sure. Let's give it a shot. Check it out right here. Quick shut off, power everything down real quick. All right, take up the key, get back in. There we go, good start. Let's see what happens here, see how it does. All right, good as one key cycle. Overall, I think she did okay. Let's try to put it under a load here coming up. See what happens with that. Put the AC on, see what happens with that. Ain't that be the best idea, but we got to try everything we can for right now. Put on the AC real quick, see what happens. Get the AC running full blast so you get the load. Hope for her. Bring it to an idle. Put her in neutral and let her idle at the stoplight. That's always a good thing under a load. We'll see how we do. Still seems to be doing okay. Try to go now. Let's go. All right, cool. So AC load, how she does. She's still doing okay. She just doesn't like getting down. She don't like that heavy duty driving. That's all. That is all. That is all. Overall, I think she's okay. That's with the AC on too. She's still going, so I think the engine has just had seen better days, honestly. It really did. It is driving good though, overall. That I can tell. Definitely can't help, I don't think. I'm gonna do this Brazilian cleaning. I think that's definitely gonna be a smart idea to do. I don't think that's gonna hurt nothing for sure at all. Probably a smart thing to do. Overall, she goes pretty good. So I mean, I think she'll be fine. I'm convinced it's fixed. I don't really need to do those stuff, but might as well do it while we're in here, right? Can't hurt. Cannot hurt at all. I think we're good though. If a dummy could go in front of me, we could definitely figure it out for sure. So dumb, you didn't put 30 on purpose. Alright, anyway, I'm done. I think we got it figured out. Alright. Should be all set. See how she accelerates up this hill one last time. Here we go. So the heavy acceleration for this little car and see what she does. See how she progresses. Realigner basically, and she did pretty good. considering this little motor on this car. It definitely picked up speed pretty nice. I ain't gonna lie about that one. That's alright. I think we may have it figured out. I think we're good. Alright, I'm gone. Hope that was helpful. I'm gonna edit this video and put one on there and see what happens with that.